clients won't tell you their budgets. So for today's quick question, I got a video from Timothy, and he said, what can I do to really get the budget out of their client? What is the real price that they would pay? How can I get them to admit it? That is a fantastic question. That is something that I actually learned back in school in business, is how to really get what they really want to spend. Because yes, you get throw out a price, but I mentioned it before as a horror story, is that I was with a client when I kind of really first began, and I said, hey, I could do your event for $300, and they're like, oh wow, that was it? So now, knowing that I could have probably asked more and gotten a better price, I thought I was helping out the company a little bit, which I was by saving them money, I guess. You really don't want to do that. You kind of want to feel out, put your feelers out, and see what they really want to do. So you have to get something I call ballpark numbers. So grab your hot dogs, grab your drinks, grab your seat, go to the concession stand, and let's see what we can find on how to get their ballpark number. When sitting down with the client, I think it's essential to have a starting price, so that way they can at least see a base level to where you're at, and don't go to necessarily where you need to go. Just say, hey, my weddings could start at $1,300, $1,500, but obviously you may want $2,000 or something like that for this event. Or if you're shooting a portrait or you go into a model, say, hey, my creative fees and my sitting fees can start at $250, and we can go from there, all depending on makeup, as I said, if you're dealing with a model. So it depends on the situation, and they kind of get a grasp onto what their budget really holds. So you may have this back and forth to where you're like, what are you looking to spend? They're like, I don't know, can you let me know? There's one thing that you can do to really kind of see their mindset and what they think something should actually cost. One thing I like to do is, get that ballpark number, get them to name something, what they think in their heads, and I give them a scenario. I'll say, how about this? If you wanted to shoot and, involve traveling, time, editing, everything for that type of photo, what would you think someone would pay? I'll break down everything in like a list form, show them, explain it to them, without asking them what they would pay, out of their own pocket. I would say, what do you think someone would pay for that? And the answer that they would give is essentially their ballpark price of what they think. So essentially, I could be like, hey, I want to shoot your wedding, or I want to shoot you as a model, and I have this gear and all this goes into it. What do you think someone would pay? Just nonchalant, what do you think someone would pay? And essentially, they'll be like, yeah, maybe like $1,300, or I know that was specific, maybe $1,500 for this entire package. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. Well, and then you kind of, slip it under there. What would you pay for something? They're like, yeah, you probably about, pay about the same, maybe $1,000 or something like that. Bam, you have their ballpark price. Is that going to work every single time? No, there are stubborn people out there that you won't get anything until you really tell them what you want. But you also don't want to undersell and undercut yourself, which is why getting a ballpark price is something that you should try and do. But if it's obviously not working, just give in and just tell them what you want, what you really need, what you want, and then you can go from there. So hopefully I kind of gave you a little something, maybe a little bit more of a direction on how to get that ballpark price, and I think it's something that you will, I'd say probably 7 out of 10 times will work to get someone to relate to maybe another event and what their pay or what package you're offering, and then they'll realize kind of what they want, and they'll honestly tell you. If not, let them be stubborn, tell them what you want. Hopefully this helped you out. Give this a quick like, don't be stubborn, please. Write down below, questions, comments. I'm not gonna tell you anything, all right? I'm not gonna tell you what to do, okay?